Today I'm going to be making some honey lemon garlic chicken out on the Weber Kettle. Yes, honey lemon garlic chicken, but that's really in the glaze portion of the flavoring. First thing I need to do is get the rub together that's going to go on this chicken. Very simple combination of ingredients here. We have half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of granulated garlic, and a teaspoon of paprika. Just going to mix this together. That's what I'm looking for. Let's move on to the bird. What I'm working with here today is a 5-pound chicken, and I'm actually going to break this down into 2 halves. Be easier to work with out on the kettle. First thing I'm going to do, we are going to remove the backbone. Any little bits that come off while you're doing that, just pull those out. And we're going to roll this over. We're going to press down to kind of break the sternum. Just like that. And I'm just going to come back in here with my scissors. You can use a cleaver, a knife, anything you want, but you're going to have to get through these rib bones. There we go, our halved chicken. Now what I want to do is I just want to pat this down, get a little bit of the excess moisture off, not all of it. Then I'm just going to take my rub and season this up. And that's it. Now this is going to go in the refrigerator for about 2 hours to sort of dry out the skin. Just sort of air dry it. We don't want to cover it, we just want to rest it in there on a platter of some sort. So I'll see you in a couple hours when it's time to head out to the Weber Kettle. Now to cook our chicken today, I'm actually going to be trying something new. A company called Aura Outdoor Products, I believe that's how you pronounce it, contacted me and asked me if they could send me their Kettle Zone System. I don't know anything about it. It was recommended to me by someone in a live stream that I did. And I think they contacted Aura and then Aura reached out to me. So I received this for free. I don't really know anything about it except what's on the box. And if you've seen any of my previous product reviews, you know that I like there to be instructions. So I haven't opened this up yet. When I open it up, I'm gonna see it just the same way you are. So let's open this up. Hopefully there are some instructions. All right, I apologize if it's really bright. It's just a bright and sunny day outside. All right, so you can see I have not opened this. So I don't even know what to expect other than what I can see on the box here. So let's open this up. Looks like it's solidly packed in foam. Looks like some grill grates here that are zip tied. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these zip ties. Now let's pull this out of here. This looks like might be instructions. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I like to see in things. Setting it up, low and slow cooking. You'll want to use both heat deflectors. It's giving you instructions on how to use this. One-sided. All right, it's not a lot of instructions, but it does seem to have the basics on how to use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rest of this out and set it up on the kettle. All right, so hopefully you can see that. It looks like there are 2 cooking grates that separate and come off of the lower grate, which hold them. Then there is a lower sort of thing that holds the deflector plates. There's 2 of them. And from reading the instructions, it looks like you can use either or both. So you can do like a full indirect method, or you can have sort of half the kettle indirect and half on a sort of radiant indirect where the heat's coming up through the deflector plate. So let's go ahead and get it in the kettle. Okay, so it says the first thing you need to do is put the base rack in. That's this thing. And it has 2 posts on one side which fit over the grate support structure. So let's see. Okay, that goes in like it's supposed to. Feels solid. All right, so the choice I need to make here is, do I want to cook using both deflector plates like this, or just one? You know, put the chickens over here on one side on the cooking grate. Well, I think I'm actually going to go for both of them this time. Now it does say, obviously, you put your charcoal in first before you put the heat deflectors in. It doesn't say how much charcoal to put in. So I'm going to go with maybe 3/4 of a chimney of charcoal. That's what I'm going to see how that works. There is nothing in the instructions about how much charcoal to use. I would like to see that, but everything else is in the instructions, seems good. So I'm going to go with about half a chimney of charcoal, maybe 3/4. We'll see. So I'll get that going. All right, my charcoal's just about ready in the chimney. And as you can see, I put one of the deflector plates and 1/2 of the cooking grates on. And that's the way I can add charcoal and then put the other deflector plate on. It says they're supposed to touch in the middle, so I'll make sure I do that. I can tell you one thing, the cooking grates and the rest of the metal in this is really thick. It's very heavy. It feels much thicker than the standard Weber grate. So that's a plus. The only negative, like I said, where it doesn't tell you how much charcoal is, I don't know how long the charcoal will last in there. And adding more charcoal would mean removing one of the deflector plates or tipping it up, which can be done. The grates do tip. So it's not a deal breaker, but I'd like to know kind of about how much time do you have from, say, a full chimney of charcoal when you're using it in the full indirect mode with both deflector plates. So let's go ahead and get the charcoal in here. And again, this is somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of a chimney. Go ahead and put the second deflector plate on here and move it so it touches. And then the grill grate goes on like this. Down like that. So I have my ThermoPro set up in there. I want to just monitor, how well it does with both the deflector plates. I don't have the lid on yet. I'm going to put that on and we'll see how we do. All right, while this is heating up, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to make the lemon honey garlic glaze, or the garlic honey lemon glaze, or any combination you want to make in there. So let's head inside. All right, so now we're going to make the honey lemon garlic glaze. Half of this is going to go on the chicken before it goes on to the kettle. The other half we're going to reserve to glaze it at the end. We're starting with 1/2 cup of honey already in our bowl here. We're going to add 1/2 cup of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, a tablespoon of soy sauce, and a tablespoon of chili garlic sauce. Just going to whisk this together slowly because it's honey in there. It doesn't want to move. All right, let's get a taste here. Oh, nice. Really nice, but just a tiny kick from that chili garlic sauce. All right, we're gonna take 1/2 of this now and get it on that chicken. All right, so we have 1/2 of our honey lemon garlic, lemon honey garlic, whatever you wanna call it. 1/2 of that mixture, we're gonna get it on the chicken now. Gonna give a nice little massage here. Both sides. All right, this is ready. Let's get it out to the Weber kettle. All right, if you can see that, our kettle temperature is at 316. That's pretty good for indirect with those deflector plates in there. The vents have been fully open the whole time, so I'm gonna get the chicken on there. I'm just gonna place them dead center. Give this thing a real test. All right, I wanna get my internal meat temperature probe now in one of these chicken breasts. All right, we're gonna get the lid on and see how this cooks. All right, we've been going for about 1/2 an hour with the chicken on and about 45 minutes since I added the charcoal, and I can see that the temperature is starting to drop slowly. It was at about 305 and we're down to 296, so it's not, crashing, but that is telling me that I am gonna need to add more charcoal if we're gonna get up to the 165-degree internal that we're gonna want on this bird. So I'm gonna go ahead and add charcoal, which means I'm going to have to put on some gloves and move one of the deflector plates slightly to put some more charcoal in there. I can tell you that chicken sure smells good. So I'm going to go ahead and slide these chicken halves over to one side of the grill here temporarily so that I can open the other half. tip that up and let it rest there. And I'm gonna see if I can just lift this up like this and dump charcoal in. Try that again. That was not that difficult. You definitely have to have good gloves though. Let me just lift this up using my tongs this time. Be gentle, I want to push some of this fresh charcoal around in there. Get our cooking grate back down. I want to move my chicken back to the center. Adding charcoal is not that difficult a process with gloves and tongs and things like that, but really it is something you have to think about ahead of time. How much charcoal are you going to need? It's going to take some more testing before I know how much charcoal it's going to take to go 2 hours without having to add any, or 3 hours. Bring you back when it's time to check this chicken. All right, our internal temperature's at 141, kettle temps at 319, and I want to glaze this now, so I'm using about a 1/4 cup of the remaining glaze. The rest we're going to use at the end when we're ready to taste it. Gotta say, those are not bad looking birds. Just gonna brush a little bit of this lemon garlic honey glaze on these birds. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get our lid back on and let these finish to 165. All right, we just hit 165 internal on the ThermoPro. I'm gonna check it with the instant read, so let's see how we're doing. Very nice looking birds. Good color, great smell too. All right, I'm gonna check a thigh right here. Thigh is showing 178 or 180. Yeah, so thighs are good. I'm gonna check this breast here. That's 165. I'm just gonna double check this one. Yep, we are good. I don't need to poke it anymore. Let me get my temperature probe out of here. See if I can get these chickens off whole. So real quick, I just want to give sort of some final impressions on this run through of this Kettle Zone from Aura Outdoors. Then we'll get inside and taste. It's actually a really solid unit. The construction seems good. The instructions were, I'd say 90 to 95% there. I would have just liked some direction on how much charcoal to use. That's a simple fix, and it's also sort of a learning process if you're just doing this yourself. I think I would have gone with a full chimney of charcoal to start with. That probably would have carried us through to the end. There's a lot of radiant heat left in these stones that are in there, those deflector plates. I'm most impressed though with just the steel. I'm always impressed with steel. You know, sort of the ceramic things I always look at and they can break. But the steel in this is pretty substantial. I'm very impressed with that. So I'm gonna put a link down below to their website. I haven't even been to their website. I didn't look at this thing after they sent it to me. So I don't get anything from this if you go buy anything from them. I did get a free unit, full disclosure. I'm very thankful they sent it to me to try. But go check it out if you're interested in this. I don't even know how much it costs. I have no idea. I haven't looked at anything. So I would say good unit here, really good indirect. Next thing I want to try with it is that sort of 2-zone thing where I can move it, you know, indirect and direct and try both on there. All right, I'll see you inside. Let's go taste this chicken. All right, here is our honey lemon garlic chicken. I've used every combination, lemon, honey, garlic, honey, lemon. I even said ginger once, I think. So if I said ginger at any time in this video, there's no ginger in this. But there is honey, lemon, and garlic. And look at that, it looks great. But let's add a little bit more to this right now. I've taken some of the glaze. Actually, my wife took some of the glaze and thickened it a little bit on the stove. Thank you, honey. We're gonna drizzle a little bit of this on the chicken and on the rice we have next to it. It's not super thick, but it is delicious, let me tell you. Also going to drizzle just a little bit of lemon zest on here for some color and flavor. And I think the rice deserves a little more color too, so some chopped scallions there. Now let's cut into this. All right, I'm gonna go for some breast meat right here. Oh, very nice. Beautiful looking, nice and juicy. I know everybody takes it and pushes it on it, but I don't want to push all the juice out, but yeah, very juicy. What can I say? It's time to taste. All right, Here we go. No ginger. Lemon, honey, garlic chicken. And I think it cooked really well out there on that Kettle Zone attachment for the Weber Kettle. Very pleased with that. Ooh. Oh boy. Wow. I mean, that's a real wow. That is very juicy, and that glaze on here is just outstanding. I'm going back really quick for more. Whoa. Gotta say, doing it indirect, and that's my preferred way to do chicken. I will do it indirect on the kettle with chicken to one side, coals to the other, either in a briquette basket or slow and sear or something like that. But being able to do it radiant indirect, where you have deflector plates in there, which are common in other cookers, ceramic cookers and things like that. But for the Weber Kettle, those did a really good job of creating a true indirect zone for the entire kettle. Really juicy chicken. Fantastic flavor from the chicken. Some of that rub that's in there at the very beginning, but really it's this honey lemon garlic glaze that is just so terrific on this. This time I'm going for some chicken with that rice and the glaze on it. Especially if you like lemon flavor, this really has a nice lemon punch, especially with those little bits of zest in there. Just a terrific combination with a well-cooked chicken. So if those are three flavors you like, lemon, honey, and garlic, maybe with a little addition of that chili sauce that I add to this is a winner. Oh man.